bless me and welcome on one of the top guards in the entire country, leading Washington State to an 8-0 start to start the season now. Ike Bonton, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, this has been a wild year. We know COVID adjustments, and you've also had a crazy story, but I just mentioned you're one of the only schools 8-0 right now, undefeated start. You're leading this team. How's it feel?
Feels great, man. Especially, with younger guys and everything. Just to figure it out, get wins, man. It always feels good.
This is one of the better starts Washington State has had in over 13, 15 years now. Knowing you kind of been the leader of this movement right now, what's it feel like to look at that and see that you guys have been successful so far?
Like I said, man, it just feels good to win. Coming to a different spot especially after my journey, having somewhere to settle in and have success. It feels good, especially to kind of change the culture. Especially from the last few years. So.
I want to kind of go into this journey. You've been a guy that come out of high school, you're a 2-star recruit, and choosing Montana State. That's where you spent a few games out there. But that original recruiting process, take us through that, and why was Montana State the school you chose?
There's the recruiting process in high school. You know how it goes, where junior year is a big year, for recruitment. And junior year, I think second game of my junior year, I tore my labrum in my shoulder, and that set me back with a lot of recruitment and everything. But Montana State was a school that recruited me from early on, and they just kept staying with me. And I had a guy that I was really close to, Brandon Lincoln. He was assistant there. Ended up leaving like right before I got there. So like after I signed, he found another school. I just ended up there. It was a good experience. It was a good experience for the most part, for sure.
Everyone's got their journeys, and that's where you go out there. You average around 8 points a game, play 11 games out there, but you decided to obviously take the transition and go to the JUCO route. But what went the decision? Why did you feel that was the best move for you at that time?
It was a tough time. I was going through some tough times at Montana State. Dealing with some stuff. Just mentally, just wasn't in the place I wanted to be at. Especially with my love for the game. And, that have to love the game. You have to enjoy it to be good at it and to be doing what you need to do. So I decided, I kind of talked to my dad a little bit, and then I was, had a close kind of mutual relationship with the coach at Casper, and then Coach Russ, and then my best friend, actually, like, he's like my brother, Wilfred Lakai. He was there at the time. So, I just decided, like, let me just, scale back, get my love for the game back. I have a great opportunity at Casper, and we had a chance to be a really good team. So I was just like, might be a good decision. So I talked to my dad about it, and we decided on Casper.
Love for the game is a huge piece, and that's something a lot of general fans don't look at. They mostly focus on the on-court performance and whatnot, but as a player, unfortunately, a lot of guys don't find that love and they never get it back. How are you able to find that love? How are you able to not only find that love then, but also grow into the player you become?
Oh man, I really think, I just kind of got back to the basics. A lot of times you get caught up in the moment, in life, not even just basketball, in life. You get caught up in the moment of things, and it kind of gets your perception of things gets distorted, you know what I'm saying? And you just got to kind of go back sometimes to your beginnings. I got around, my brothers and stuff back home, and my dad, and we just talked, and I was with my Uncle Donnie Wiltshire, and I just got around good people, got back to the basics of everything, and then kind of just got my grounding, better. And then from then on, I had a great relationship with Coach Russ. My brothers were at Casper and everything. So, it was just a good relationship, and it was just a good feel. So I got my, love for the game back, and we just got to play free and just fun and winning games and everything. So it was just, I kind of got that love back, all at once.
I know there's always not just going to be highs for you. So far this year, it's been pretty much all highs to start the season, but there's always going to be some dips downs. There's always going to be some lows throughout life, throughout basketball. And when those times do come for not just you, but any player, how do you kind of plan to not only let yourself not kind of go into a little rut or even kind of maybe lose love for the game, but stay high and stay loving the game?
Yeah. So I'm going to break that down in a couple pieces. Because at first, Montana State, I wasn't the best at dealing with that. I was going through a really trying time mentally. And, at the time I kind of hit a wall almost, and it was like, I didn't really know how to deal with it as best as I could explain it, so it's tough, you know, when the moment hits in life, you know what I'm saying? You can be prepared for it all you want. You know, in your mind and everything, you can plan it out, but it may not always hit the same as you think it's going to. So, you know, I feel like personally having a great relationship with God, just being close with God, and that's what grounds me. Um, and understanding my purpose, you know, trying to really get to know myself. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I've really got to capture over my college career, especially going through everything I went through. Having great people around me, my dad, you know, Uncle um, Donnie Wiltshire, you know, my guy Corey Lockhart, you know, just people around me that are just great support, you know, and they know me better than anybody else knows. So, you know, just being around your people that you know and love, and having that support, and then having a good faith, and you know, it's a strong faith, you'll eventually get your confidence back. You know, right now I'm not even going through the best times right now. You know, I've gone through some stuff, especially at the start of the season. I haven't been shooting well, you know, like I want to. Not even doing everything I want to do, and you know, especially to start my senior year, you know, that could be tough. But you just can't let it break you. You know what I'm saying? You just got to stick with it, you know, and eventually just have blind faith until everything comes around.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, some people's minds maybe going D1 to JUCO is a downgrade, but I think a lot of people are starting to see how valuable that is because not only is it just somewhere guys are developing, but we see guys like Jay Scrub now make the jump from JUCO to the NBA. Guys are developing out there. Either spend 2 years, 1 year, whatever it might be. So how important was the JUCO route in terms of development, and what was it like to spending that year out there?
You know, Zach, that's an interesting point because when I went to JUCO, I didn't know I didn't know what to expect. Like I was going to Casper, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was going to a different level, and I didn't really see too many players before. I guess I didn't study JUCO enough to see like who really came out and how they came out in their journey. I just know my close friend just got killed a couple of years ago, Deontay Strickland.
Mm-hmm.
He was there before me, and we were really close growing up. So um, I didn't like I saw his path, but I didn't really see like all of JUCO. And you know, so when I went to JUCO, you know, I really got to realize like how you know these guys are really good players. You know what I'm saying? There's really good talent. There's NBA level talent, D1 level talent, high major talent. You know, everywhere. So it's once you get into it and once you see what's going on, it's a wake up call. You know what I'm saying? It's not just cupcakes. You know, so you got to grind wherever you're at, and it's just that's a great JUCO is a great platform just to get recruited from because you're playing college basketball, you're playing talent. It may not be as structured as Division 1, you know, and you know it's more of a business, but JUCO is a way you know to get your you know your confidence up. You can just get in the gym all the time and just be focused and just get that routine down to college, and then you can get recruited from there. It's just you know it's a great platform. I feel like.
Every JUCO player I've talked to before mentions that there's one trait they get from being a part of JUCO, and that's that dog mentality. Everyone knows it's kind of a grind out there. You know that each guy's out there fighting for whether it be one more year of JUCO or your last year playing basketball potentially. Everyone kind of gets that dog mentality. It's also not necessarily as nice as college basketball is, where you have the whole D1 atmosphere, the level of traveling, all that stuff. So, what was that like, and how did you see yourself kind of get that dog mentality throughout that year?
Whew, man, we dogs for real. That's one word you got to use when you know to make it out of JUCO.
Mhm.
Because you know it's kind of like a last stop. You know, you can look at it glass half full, glass half empty, but in reality, it's your last stop. So if you don't do what you got to do there, you know, there's other levels you can go to, but if you're not going to get where you want to go to unless you have that grind. Because most of the time you're in the middle of nowhere. It's not a lot of people out there. It's not a lot of fun things to do, you know what I'm saying? But your whole focus is basketball, school, and then you're around guys, you know. Fortunately, I had a team that was, you know, really selfless, and we really understood that everyone has to make each other better for us to all get to where we need to get to, and that's what happened. But you know, there's a lot of places where your own teammates are kind of fighting against you because they want to get to the, you know what I'm saying? They kind of have that mentality. It's like I gotta get out, and you know, it's a lot of dogs in there, and you just gotta, you know, it's that toughness you just build, and once you leave junior college, those are bonds you'll never leave. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone I would play with on my JUCO team, like we talk to this day every day. So, it's a really positive thing. It depends on how you take it though, because it can go either way.
I want to ask you about this. In terms of those practices you mentioned, everyone's kind of fighting for that same goal, that same dream of theirs. How would you compare your practice at Montana State to JUCO, now your practice at Washington State? What was the hardest place and how do they kind of compare or relate?
Pretty similar. Honestly though, my freshman year, of course, just coming into Division I, it was a little tougher. Just getting used to everything at the college level, the speed and the strength and just the intensity of everything. And I feel like honestly, the difference between the junior college and Division I level is just the overall intensity like attention to details and intensity with the details. That's one thing that's different. So I got that edge coming into junior college where I knew it was really important to focus on the small things, small things. And um, I feel like the practices structure and everything is similar, not too much different. We do a lot of the same things, play a lot of the same ways and everything because it's college level still. But I think just the attention to detail is a little different, Division I level.
In everyone's journey, no matter what area of life you're in, there's always that person kind of comes into your life and helps you, mentor you, get you to the next point. And I know you mentioned it a few times now, but that kind of was Coach Russell for you. Because I know you built a really strong relationship. He obviously was your coach throughout your breakout year there. Talk about your guys' bond and how that grew.
Man, I got all love for Coach Russ. It's just respect, because he took me when I was at the lowest. I felt like that was the lowest point in my life, or one of the lowest points in my life. So whenever somebody, brings you up from a place you're at, when you're low, and somebody brings you up and gives you that trust and that confidence, and we just had, ever since I got there, I was just the first day I got there, like I said the other day, I was just talking about how when I got there, the first day I got there, it was about, I don't know, I got there the night before and then we had practice the next day and I didn't know what to expect. And then I didn't know what was going on. I was in the middle of nowhere. So I just went in the gym for like 6 hours before practice. Like I just remember that, like we had practice at 6:30 that night and I was just in the gym from like 11 in the morning, like didn't eat anything. I was just working out. My coach comes in, he's like, he saw me like when I first got there. He's like, all right, cool, you can shoot around, whatever. Let me into the gym. And then 4 hours later he comes, I'm still working. I'm sweating, like going crazy in the gym working out. And he's like, man, like we got practice in a couple hours, like, so I just think he saw that and it kind of took it like, all right, this dude is serious. He means business. And, that's a kind of respect. And ever since then, throughout practices and everything, I just kept proving. And then we just got a relationship and he accepted all my flaws. He accepted everything from me and just had that bond. We just had that bond in that relationship and it just built on and on and on until the last game. They played the Region 9 tournament. We lost the first round. It was the year I didn't play. It was the year I transferred there. And we lost the first round. And after that, there's a lot of tears and everything because, you're not going to see those guys again. He knew that team that he's seen as sophomores and everything, they're out of there. So there's a lot of tears, a lot of emotions. I just came up to him like, we're going to win this next year because he never won it before. I was like, we're going to win this next year. So ever since then, I just feel like our relationship just grew stronger and stronger. So, yeah.
And now I want to talk about your next recruiting process. Your first one obviously probably wasn't your dream scenario. You only had a few offers, wasn't high recruited. Now it comes around, you're getting offers from schools like Kansas State's looking at you, West Virginia, clearly Washington State, Montana State comes back in the mix. They hired Coach Russ, a much different feel, much more busy, exciting recruiting process. How much more exciting was that second time?
When I got into it the second time, and I had a totally different perspective from what the recruiting process is. In high school, every offer you want to get, you want to go post it and be like, I'm blessed to receive an offer from, what I'm saying? Everyone does that on Twitter and all that. But the second time around, I took it more of like the business side. I saw like what I knew exactly what I wanted and I knew exactly what I'm going to hear. You're going to hear all the good things from everybody, but you want to ask questions. You want to ask real questions to these coaches that are really going to be applicable. It's not going to be, oh, coach, am I going to play? Am I going to start? Like, that's not guaranteed, but nobody, I don't care what happened. Anything could happen, so you got to ask, like, I just was asking questions that I knew, like, things I didn't like, I took from Montana State and things I did like. And, ask real questions, just look at it from a business perspective. So I was more on some like, I feel like I deserve to be there. And,
Mhm.
I really wanted to get back there, especially, and I proved that over junior college. So I was hungry. And, I was just asking real questions, like to really understand what I was going into. And I wanted to make sure my next spot is gonna be my last spot, because I don't want to be one of those guys that transfers everywhere, because I knew that was gonna be my last spot. So it was kind of, it took the excitement out of it a little bit, but I was still excited, just to be getting recruitment. I feel really blessed whenever opportunity. So it was a little different perspective, but it was, yeah, it was, recruiting process is good. It's cool.
What were some of those questions? What were some of the biggest things you wanted to see and hear from a college?
And I was more, I'm a relationship guy,
Mhm.
because I know if you don't have a great relationship, if you don't have a great foundation, not even a relationship, but more of an understanding, if you don't have an understanding with your coach, it could fall, it could go anywhere. So I wanted to ask certain questions on like what my coaches believed in, like what was their faith talk, what was their faith like, and how they saw me coming into the program, and how I can how can I impact things, and if they saw my game, and if that translated over into the program, because talent just doesn't mean you can go fit in wherever. Like some guys, can just be thrown into spots that they're not, most successful at. So you want to get the most success out of it, and you want to know what the coach believes in. So you can have that faith, and you can know at least at the end of the day, this coach isn't going to switch on me. This coach isn't going to be one of those guys who's wishy-washy with me. So, it's always a process. You're going to have to come in and work. You're going to have to do your part, but you want to find out what the coaches really believe in, and how you can fit into the program, and because fit is everything in college. It doesn't matter where you go, it matters how you fit. So
When you're coming down to the final decision, clearly Washington State's where you choose. Who else was really in the mix for you? Was there a second favorite option for you, even a second or third?
man, honestly, throughout the year, it was Gonzaga. I like West Virginia. I like Gonzaga. I was talking to Fresno State for a while. Um, New Mexico. I was talking to New Mexico for a while. Um, I can't really remember too much about that. It's kind of in my past memory now, but
Mhm.
those type of schools. But I definitely wanted to go to a school where I could, bet on myself, and be at a stage where I can get looked at, for the next level, and have success at it as well. So
That's the big thing. I read that really going to high major school was really a big high up on your list. And that is something that some guys might say, well, you come from JUCO, you didn't succeed late earlier in your career. Why do you think you can now become a Division I player and succeed at the Division I level? We see now that you have done that, but what was kind of your mindset heading into that, knowing that you're going to Division I, you're going to high major, playing a big stage? How would you kind of get used to that and adjust to that?
well, it dates back to how I came up, and I was a guy that always I'm a worker. I have a really strong work ethic, and I have a really strong faith in my work, and that's where all my confidence comes from. So early on in my career, I worked out so much that I wasn't even playing AAU ball. I wasn't getting enough reps, experience playing the actual game and games, but I was working on myself. So I knew I had the talent. It was never a question like, am I have the talent? It's just, where can I go fit in and really learn from, because I really needed to learn. I still am learning the game right now. I feel like, um, this is my what? So played a little bit my freshman year, I have 7 games, then played 1 year in JUCO, then last year. And then so this is like kind of like my third year playing, so at this level too, and playing the point guard position, just understanding the whole game and everything. I'm learning every day. That's why I feel like I get more comfortable every game. So just going to a spot where I can learn from the coaches, they have a lot to teach me, and they can be patient with me. But I knew anywhere I go, I'm gonna be skilled enough to go play there. Like, that's never a question for me. I feel like I have a professional skill set. It's just a matter of who I'm playing for, and how I can go out and learn. I'm just keep playing and learning. So
And you go into a team that you obviously have a big time season, but you guys finish off at a 500 record, 16-16, and you're not necessarily heading in there as no one really knows exactly what you're bringing to the team. We know this NBA prospect and CJ out there who now got drafted. There's a lot of talent out there. So you go in there though, you clearly get the spot, you average 15 a game. How are you able to get acclimated so quickly and really produce at that level?
Um, well, it starts from, the summer. My coach, he always tells us, we have these things called, we go off our analytics. So we have a hustle stats, and he tells everyone that's coming in, like, the hustle stat leaders, whoever wins the hustle stats in the summer over the 6 week period that we have before season even starts. If you do well in that, then those are 5 guys. He picks the top 5 guys, and like those are guys I trust most. Like I not necessarily like trust as an individual, but trust as a player most, because you showed me that you could do what, hustle stats are all about winning plays. So you showed me you can make winning plays. And so in the summer, I took that serious, and I won the hustle stat board. So, I had that trust from my coach. And then again, I played with CJ, for a while, and, he was the guy on the team. So it kind of helped me come in and be like, okay, I'm familiar, and then it was a level where I just felt like I could come in. I'm a worker, so I came in and did my thing over the summer, and my coach gained trust for me. And from then on, it was just how learning the game, learning the college game, playing at this level, playing at this speed, and and it just all came together.
Originally, did coach see you as the starting guard? Did he see you as being the kind of lead point guard, or is that even what you saw yourself doing, or did you kind of shock yourself at how quickly you kind of gained that role?
Yeah, it's funny because I've played point guard my whole life, but my skill set and my scoring ability makes it seem, you know, like he's a two guard. He's a two guard. So in the summer I played point guard a lot, but then we brought in a guy, Jalen Shed, who played the point. So after the summer, after the hustle stats and everything, coach switched me to the two, and I was playing the two, and my main job is just scoring, scoring, scoring. I'm like, you know, it's a little different for me because I'm a playmaker. I feel like maybe I'm not a point guard specifically, a pass first point guard traditional, but I'm a playmaker, so I make plays, and I'm good with the ball in my hands. So it was a little different playing off the ball and everything. So I had to get used to that over the year. And then right before, when Jalen got hurt, then I switched to point, like right before conference started, I think a game before. So, it's been a transition. I've been all over the place, but that's what you're gonna have to do at the next level, in the professional level. You might not be one position. You might be switching around. Just depends on how you adapt. That just shows you, if you're a professional or not. So.
There's one day I want to talk about, January 18th. I'm sure you probably remember the day. Klay Thompson's out there. His jersey gets retired, and yeah, probably one of the most memorable games you've had before. 34, 8-8. One of the only players to do that kind of stat line in the Pac-12 since the beginning of stats. Take us through that night.
Crazy atmosphere, man. It was a regular day for me. Just wake up, pray, stretch, make my bed, every morning, and then hit some yoga and everything for the game, just relax. And I got my pregame workout in, but by the time I went out for pregame, I normally go out 2 hours early. So I'll go out, get my workout in, and then sit for like 15 minutes, then start a team workout. And when I was in my pregame, my individual, it's like 2 hours. The whole student section's packed. I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I'm in here doing my regular warm-ups, and they're screaming, chanting like it's in the game already. I'm like, dang, like, it's kind of crazy. So it just gave me some energy, it was getting some good energy, but it was good to get out there before and just get the atmosphere, calm my nerves down, get the adrenaline out, before the game even started. I feel like that helped me, kind of settle into the game. And then we're in warm-up lines and stuff. You see Klay Thompson walking down. Then you see Steph Curry. I'm like, oh, is that Steph Curry right there? Like, that's one of my favorite point guards. So I just went up and, shook Klay Thompson up, and it was just a good feel. It was a good, great day to be a Coug. And the game was just, everything clicked. It's just, I'm capable of that. I'm working on just being more consistent so I can put that together every single game. So.
And I think that's one thing that you just mentioned, that there are some guys, when you see an NBA player, especially all-time great guy Steph Curry or an NBA All-Star like Klay Thompson, your mindset might kind of change. That's the guy you've looked up to, this guy everyone watches on TV day to day. He's now sitting back and watching you play. What was your first reaction when you saw that, and just how did that kind of filter you and kind of give you energy for that game then?
It was unreal, man. I think so. Like we're in layup lines. We see Klay, and I'm like, oh yeah, the crowd goes crazy, right? So he's walking down, boom, whatever. I go up and give him a handshake and everything, and I see him like, that's cool. But Klay was a Coug, And then I don't know, somebody else did something in layup. So I'm thinking, and the crowd started screaming like crazy. I'm like, dang, did somebody just go between the legs or something? No, it's Steph Curry walking down the baseline. I'm like, wow, like that's all I said. It was just like, wow, like, okay, this is really time to perform, so showing what I can do, because I look at them as like, there's the guys I looked up to in my life, but those are guys I'm trying to play against. Those are guys I'm trying to get Steph 34, 8, and 8, so that's just a competitor in me, and it was exciting, exciting game. It's just fun.
That second half of the season, you really were on fire. You had double digits almost every single game after midway point, and that led you now into the summer where heading the season, second team Pac-12 selection. A lot of people expected you to have big season. That's what I want to touch about this season so far. You kind of know that now CJ is gone. You're the lead guy. You're kind of the go-to player for this team. How do you accept and embrace this leadership role and kind of this star role?
It's a role I'm used to. So but I worked really hard this summer. I took, a whole different approach, just changed my body, trying to get more lean and just trying to get quicker and more explosive and everything so I can and have enough, being conditioned enough to lead a team, throughout the season, especially at this level. So, it's been a journey. I say, every year is a different challenge. Every year is a different obstacle that you got to embrace. So I did the work. I put the work in to get there, but I feel like, at the start of the season, I kind of rushed things, of course, I get the first game jitters, especially not playing after a year, but, just being rushed a little bit. Haven't been shooting well, throughout non-conference, but again, like that doesn't shake my confidence at all. It doesn't, bother me at all. We're winning games, we're doing little things. I stepped it up defensively, what I'm saying? Just finding different areas where I can affect the game, even if my shot's not falling. So it's going to be a process, definitely got to start shooting better in conference and definitely will. But, it's a process, I'm enjoying because it's not every guy gets to experience this. I'm blessed to be in this opportunity. So, it's something I just embrace.
And that's the big thing. You're averaging 16, 6, 4, and 2 right now. Those are pretty good numbers, but as you said, you're not shooting the best. You're around 30% right now. You bump that up, you could easily get to the 20 point per game kind of margin. So what do you expect now? Pac-12 play we know is going to be challenging. We see all the big teams. All summer we heard about ASU, the superstar freshman, Ryan Martin. We heard about the Mobley brothers at USC, Oregon. This whole conference is packed. How do you plan to up your game to be able to compete against those teams?
I love it, man. I'm excited, man. I'm a crazy competitor, so I feel like my game rises to the level of competition, and that'll be a big thing. I feel like I can help out with the younger guys, when we come in and play better competition, a lot better, than what we've been playing, and just coming in and having that confidence, these are the same guys, we play against, all the time, growing up, everything. So just coming out on this stage and just being ready, knowing all the work I put in and everything, and knowing the work the teams put in, and just where we're at right now, I'm excited. Definitely ready. I'm just ready to play every guy that has a name. I want to attack that, and just become the best version of myself I can be. Or growing as a person. Like I feel like I'm growing as a leader. I'm growing as a person every day. So.
I mentioned earlier that I do see as one of the better point guards in the entire country right now. And there's another guy in the Pac-12 that was a top 5 in the Wooden Award preseason finalist, Rami Martin. Game got moved back, but is that the game you're most excited for? Or who is the team or even the point guard that you're most excited to go up against this season?
I'm excited to hit the Arizona schools. Kenjo's balling. McKinley, my boy McKinley, he's a dog. It's another dog. Remy, I'm excited. I'm excited to play them all. Like I said, like I want to play the best player no matter what league. That's just a competitor in me. I want to just get better and keep proving everybody. I belong here. And we can win games. As a team, we can really win games. I think we can do something special.
Absolutely. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of the issues we know the whole rule change happened where theoretically you could have another senior season.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you're going to look into, or are you going to explore the draft opportunity that has something available to you? How do you kind of plan to possibly handle this after the season?
I'm just taking it day by day right now. I have a long ways to go right now. I just got to first focus on myself and, things I can correct. And I think everything will follow through. It's a great opportunity to be able to have another year at school. You know, I'm gonna get to graduate this year and everything. Just having the opportunities. You know, if things go sideways, I can come back. But that's not what I'm looking. You know, I'm not leaning towards next year. Like I'm focusing on this year and doing everything I can this year and letting the chips fall where they may.
Another big thing everyone knows about you is your red hair. Take us through that. We'll give you the idea to originally start that a couple years ago. Just take us through that.
Nah, man. I started that. You know, I think it was going into my going into my sophomore year in junior college. I just did over the summer. I was just like, kind of want to do something different, man. But it's something different than I don't want to do the blonde. I want to do that. So just I don't know, red's my favorite color, and just did that, and it just happened to be I've just been out of school that matches the color here. So I don't know, man. It's just some my trademark. Got to be different.
What originally inspired you to do red? I mean, obviously, there's a ton of different colors out there, and like you said, blonde's more a typical one. Why was red the color you chose?
It's my favorite color.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite color. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Well, one last thing I want to wrap up talking about is faith. And I know you mentioned God a few different times, and God's important and plays a huge role in everyone's life. So how has he helped you? How has he helped get you to the point you're at today?
Man, I wouldn't be here. I don't know where I would be, without God. My dad's always given me a strong faith. He's always preached that, to me, is just have a strong faith in the Lord. That's got him out of so many situations he was in. And I just feel like, really an individual, if you want to elevate in life, you have to have something to anchor onto. And that's my faith. That's what I anchor onto. So anytime things go sideways, I feel like life is just, you're on a straight path. And there's all these distractions and everything on the side trying to pull you this way. But what are you anchoring onto at the end of the road? I feel like that's the Lord for me. And that's just that's something that's been so strong to me, because I've been in a lot of tough situations in my life. But every time I just sit back and pray, it just gives me a peace of mind, the clarity, just know that I can, believe in something, have that strong faith that I'm protected. I don't have to worry about anything else in this life. I can do what I got to do, and God's going to take care of the rest. So,
as a believer, I know everyone's kind of got that faith story, but at what point kind of would you say that you really formed that strong relationship? You mentioned growing up in a household of faith. That's something that obviously you kind of grew up learning about God, knowing him, but when did you truly take that next step and form your own personal relationship with God?
It's kind of a tough story, but when I lost a really close friend to me, through some gang violence and everything. So when I lost him, it kind of just drove me. It was driving me crazy, man. I was just like, and didn't really know how to react to it. And then I feel like after that situation, the next year, my grandma passed, and my grandma was, a big part of raising me when I was really young. So when I just lost them, it was just like, man, I gotta, I just had all these feelings, all these emotions and everything, but I really gotta, lock in and just pray and just have faith, that everything's gonna be straight. And, just keep me on the right path. I could have went a lot of ways after that happened, but I just wanted to, stick to what I needed to stick to, and realize, that, through God, everything will be okay. And that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So,
amen, man. My final thing for you, we've talked about this whole journey, a lot of different things that happened to you. You've experienced a lot. There's a lot of the kids growing up that's going to go through a lot of trials on and off the court, experience things as you've gone through. What's your advice to them? How do they get through that?
Just stick with it, man. Life's a marathon, man. It's not about the race. You got to keep the big picture in your mind. Where do you want to be? Because this life is all about you. This life is all about how you want to elevate. And so just there's gonna be so many things that go on in your life. You don't even know how this gonna hit you, how it's gonna impact you. But you got to have that big goal, that end goal, and just keep the big picture in your mind. Have faith, in the Lord, and latch on to something and just keep working through everything. Because looking back to where I was at, all the things I've been through, I could have crumbled, I could have folded, but never been break or fold. So, you just got to keep going through everything, and everything will work out, just keep the right mindset.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, and I can't wait to see what God got next for you, man.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
Of course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless.
All right, God bless.